So the thing about acceptance and self-acceptance is the first thing is we have to figure out what we're not accepting about ourselves. And that's uncomfortable. So I always find the first thing about being able to accept our whole self is first starting out with realizing what we're resisting or not accepting about ourselves. Carl Jung said, the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely, right? Oh my goodness, all the little crevices and nooks inside that we've been storing stuff away and trying to shove it away and eat it away or shop it away or drink it away or smoke it away or sex it away. Something away. We've been trying to get it away. And yet when we just stay with ourselves and sit with ourselves, we start to learn about who we really are. And we start to see our whole self and really get to know ourselves. What I've found with each year that I live, the wiser I get. But I'm choosing to call it wisdom because I am willing to see the things that I haven't been willing to see in the past. Before I share this story with you, it's real important to me that you know that I believe in consent. So consent to share information, consent to bring someone else's story into my videos. So consent. I have 2 children. My son is 30 and my daughter is 27. And before I release anything that has any hint of indication about them, I ask them if they are comfortable with me sharing. Same with my husband, and my husband always says, nope. So that's really rare that that happens. But my kids grew up in a different generation than me and my husband did. And so they're like, yeah, sure, whatever, Mom, I trust you, it's okay. But I always want their consent, because their voice is important to me. So that being said, the other day I was with my daughter and she was having a hard time. And we were just talking and she said something that was so wise. And I asked her if I could share it. And she said, I get really sad with myself that I actually feel like I want to disown or even hate a part of myself that is me, that I can't change, that is literally like who I am. And we talked about like the wisdom, what she was saying. And I told her, I still struggle with that. Like there's still parts of me or things that I do or I say that I wish I could just cut off and get rid of. And for her to say that, I thought was so helpful, and it was helpful for me. And immediately some creativity came in my mind about it. So when I start to think about all the different parts of the self, the ones that we own, that we think are helpful and we really like, and then the ones that are more critical or maybe cause us a little bit of heartache, or the ones that might be even destructive, get us into a little bit of trouble, all of those different places inside, when we start to think of them, I always like to think of shelter for them, a way to hold and soothe them, a container, a sheltering tree, a home, a tree house, a cabin, or someplace by a lake, someplace that feels soothing for me. So as I was creating from this place, what came to me this week was the tree of acceptance. So a big sheltering tree. Trees have always brought me safety, security, sturdiness, grounded roots, a place where I could go up and climb and explore. I was always in trees with pens and notebooks and creating. So as you think of what you need for acceptance, think of the sheltering tree with its branches holding down little jewels of fruit. And what would that be? It might be a heart, it might be some flowers, it might be some apples, it might be oranges, it might be birds on the branches, it might be a puppy down below, it might be you under a blanket in the tree. But thinking about what would make me feel sheltered with all of the different places and parts and aspects of myself that I'm learning to accept and love on a deeper level. So as you get that image, I invite you just to sit back, take a deep breath in through your nose, exhale longer out your mouth with pierced lips. Dropping your shoulders, loosening your jaw, moving your arms a little bit, anything that makes you feel even 1% more relaxed inside your body. And then breathing again with me, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Holding that image, we'll play with the tree, being under a sheltering tree with various shades of greens, maybe some browns, maybe a little red in there, yellow, depending on the season. Looking up, seeing some light coming through, but feeling the shelter. Maybe a little breeze coming through the leaves on your face. And as you imagine this extremely safe place, imagine bringing all of those aspects or parts of yourself or things that you're trying to accept. I always like to go from the inside out, because what I find is that if I'm not accepting something on the inside, it's definitely going to show up in my outside world. I don't always know the link, but when I see something on the outside that I'm starting to feel a twinge towards or I'm not accepting, I go backwards, reverse engineer what's going on inside of me that could be tapping into this place and causing me to react with non-acceptance on the outside, wanting to change something, wanting to judge something, wanting to control something or someone. What's happening inside of me? What's feeling out of control inside of me? So coming out of a numbness, out of a stance of dissociation or detachment, and into your body. Through that breath again, back down into your body, solidly holding and filling all of the tree and all of the land with whatever needs to go here. It might be my little doodle girl, it might be a family member, it might be something that I'm not accepting about myself, something about my living situation or my job or something. And so just giving it space on your page and allowing your tree of acceptance, your sheltering space, to hold and give you the comfort that you so desperately need and deserve in this moment. What I like to do with my tree of acceptance is allow myself to think about anything that I am restricting against, anything that I'm fighting against, anything I'm trying to manage or control that isn't mine. And, we get into those states where it's like we have to find a way to let go. So allowing yourself just some time, even if it's mindful reflection, on what am I holding on to? What prior conditioning is making me think that I need something to be a certain way? And allowing yourself to just have a little grace around that. With your tree of acceptance, I invite you to just lie in the peace and tranquility that nature brings, allowing yourself to find spaciousness with a deep breath and then another deep breath. And what I like to do with my tree of acceptance is to begin to list out anything that I might feel like I'm holding on to, that I'm restricting, that I'm not able to clearly see or let go of. It's like a mindful reflection. And so what you would start to see is just like almost little apples that are falling, or little birds that are sitting down here that are trying to tweet out something that they need to let go of, or a reminder of. Our brains need reminders. Our nervous systems need us to pay attention and to sit and relish under our tree so that we can come back into ourselves and truly get to know our whole self. So here we are at the end of our time together, and I've so enjoyed being with you. When I think about creating a space for me to feel acceptance within, I come to realize that a lot of times I'm not accepting something because I need to do some grieving work. So I have this other video that I invite you to watch and see if it might give you comfort as well. You know, I just truly believe we're just kind of all in this together, and we're all just really doing the best we can for our insides. When we know better, we do better. Maybe that's good enough. I really look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, I'm sending so much love and a really great big hug.